Welcome to the Chuck Shoot Podcast. Thanks for listening or watching, since we're now doing videos on YouTube. We have all my old episodes on there, including my interview with WSU offensive lineman Liam Ryan, the one I did with the Hilinskis for Hilinski's Hope. And today my guest is another WSU player, starting middle linebacker Justus Rogers. So as many of you may or may not know, I'm a huge football fan. I love the Seahawks for NFL. I love the Cougs for college football. And I thought it'd be fun to mix it up since I've been doing so many music interviews lately. I thought it'd be fun to have a football player on here. So I think there'll definitely be a lot more music interviews on the way. But if you like football, especially Cougar football, I think you'll enjoy this interview with Justus Rogers. He was actually a quarterback at Bellevue High School, and they had a lot of success there, probably nationally known program. But he went to WSU and he switched to linebacker, and he hasn't looked back since. So we'll talk about all this, his whole college career at WSU so far. And I'm still hoping they have some kind of college football season this year for the Pac-12. But at least I can bring you this interview where we get to talk football. So enjoy it. All right. Well, welcome to my show, Justus Rogers, linebacker for Washington State Cougars. Football, hopefully there is going to be a season this year. I guess we'll get to that. But let's start with your background. So your dad was actually a linebacker as well, walk-on at UW.
Right. Yep. Way back in the day, at least for me. But yeah, he was a walk-on at the University of Washington. So I kind of grew up with purple around the house.
Oh, did he start at UW, or was he like special teams or?
No, yeah, he was mostly just special teams and scout team. Just being a walk-on, especially back then. It was tough, and he had me and my sister too while I was in college.
Oh wow! So he has hands full. So when did you start playing football then?
I started tackle football as early as 4th grade, but then I did flag football before that.
Okay, and so then you were actually born in Tacoma, but you ended up going to Bellevue High School. So where did you live? Did you live in Bellevue most of that time, or when did you move to Bellevue?
Yeah, so my dad, ever since I was born, he worked for the Seattle Fire Department. So we're from Tacoma, but growing up, he's always made that commute to Seattle, whenever he's working on his shift or overtime. So after middle school, after 8th grade, we decided to move closer to Seattle for his commute, and then, just check out different high schools. I know I shadowed at Kennedy Catholic. I was looking at O'Day and Eastside Catholic in Bellevue, and then we landed at Bellevue. So then we moved up there a few blocks from the high school.
Yeah, so Bellevue High School, for those of people who aren't from Washington or the Seattle area, I mean, I think they're actually nationally known as a pretty good football high school, right?
Right, yeah. When I was there, we won 11. At one point, we won 11 out of 13 state championships. So in 13 years, we won 11 state titles. And my freshman year in 2012, I actually played with Miles Jack. So I did. He ran track too, so I ran track too with him.
Yeah, he's a linebacker. He went to UW, and now was he in the Jaguars? I can't remember.
He went to UCLA actually.
Or sorry, UCLA, but then he was drafted by the Jaguars. I feel like, is that right? Yeah, and he's in the NFL. He's still in the Jaguars. He's somewhere.
I think so.
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah, he was a crazy good. He was a linebacker in college, but I remember them putting him at running back because he was just such a good athlete. Right.
Yeah. So in high school, we had him at running back, right, as well as for defense. We had him at defensive end.
Yeah.
Just because how big he was in high school.
Yeah, and
playing both ways.
Yeah, and you were quite a good athlete yourself. I mean, you lettered in track, you did the hurdles, you played basketball, and actually you played linebacker at Wazoo now, but you were the quarterback at Bellevue High. So you ran the wing T offense, and you put up pretty good numbers. I'm just curious, like, what's it like being the starting quarterback for like a really good football team in high school? Like, is there any downside to that? Does anybody not like worship you besides opposing teams?
I mean, the biggest, no, I mean, there's not really, it seems so long ago, so far away.
But those had to be good years, right?
Yeah, those were great years. Coach Butch Gottschalk is a phenomenal coach. With him, it was mostly, he tried to make practices. We made practices harder than games, so we were really working, especially with the wing T, having to stay low and all the just executing that offense is quite different to a lot of offenses.
Yeah. So, like you said, as a senior, you guys were 11-2, and you finished. You had what was it? The All Kinko second team honors. You had 19 touchdowns, only one interception. So I'm just curious. Like, you were recruited as an athlete. Were you not looking to go somewhere and only be a quarterback? Because they said Russell Wilson was too short to be a quarterback. They said Tom Brady's too skinny. Like, you didn't have any interest in just sticking to being a quarterback? You were open to playing any position?
Actually, quite the opposite. So, freshman year, I was kind of playing everywhere. Grew up playing quarterback. So I was playing safety and quarterback freshman year. And then sophomore year, I started at outside linebacker for Bellevue. And then I was still playing quarterback too.
Oh,
We had a senior in the quarterback position. So towards the season, I started getting more and more reps as I was developing. And then after he left, Coach Butch kind of sat down with me and said, "Hey, what do you want to do? We can keep you at quarterback, and so you can really work on pursuing that at the next level, or kind of put you everywhere where is needed." I said, "Hey, I want to pursue this quarterback thing," so that's what I did. So I came to Washington State as a quarterback. So I did a spring ball because I graduated early. I did spring ball and summer workouts as a quarterback when I first got there.
Yeah, so you were You were talking to UW, Stanford, ASU, UCLA, some other schools. What made you decide on WSU?
Just so they offered me after my sophomore season in high school, and just how at first, like I said, my dad, I grew up being a Husky.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad did a really good job of allowing me to just do the recruiting process on my own with no biases, and just choosing what fits best for me. So with Washington State, they just kept showing me pretty much like showing me love, just messaging me, showing they really want me, they care about me, and they really see me in their program, not just as an athlete but as a person too, and those intangibles. So at the end of the day, I ended up sitting on it for a year or two. I didn't commit to them till my senior year, till right before junior season. So then I finally pulled the trigger when I felt like everything was just falling into place.
Was it the assistant coach recruiting you, or was it the head coach? Mike would have been Mike Leach at the time. Who'd you talk to the most, or did you talk to a little bit of everybody?
So I talked the most to Coach Mealy, the special teams coach that was here.
Okay. Is he at Oregon now, or where's he now?
No, he went with Leach.
Oh, okay.
But sophomore year, before Coach Mealy was there, Eric Russell was recruiting me at the time. But then Eric Russell left, and Coach Mealy came in as a special teams coach, and then he took that job and did a great job. So because I'm here now.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So do they have to is it kind of, I mean, these other coaches are kind of trying to it's basically like a sales thing, right? They're trying to sell you on their program, and it's kind of it's pretty competitive. I mean, you were talking to all these other schools, right? But how many other offers did you get?
That was my only offer.
Really?
Yeah. So what happened was, they'd ask me, "Hey, would you be willing to? Are you focused on quarterback right now, or would you be willing to open up your recruiting to play defense or certain other positions?" And at the time, I was just solely focused on I wanted to play quarterback.
And so at least Leach was open to the possibility of you being able to do that at Wazoo. Yeah. So like you said, you enrolled in January 2016. You graduated early. Did you have to take extra classes to do that, or is Bellevue High set up for you guys to graduate early if you just pass everything?
Yeah. So what I did was, I went to Bellevue College and did the Running Start program.
Oh, okay.
So kind of the opposite. I took less classes, but got more credits.
Nice.
Because they're technically college courses, which was nice.
Yeah, that's really cool. So then you got to Wazoo, and you said you got to play a little bit of quarterback, and then you ended up playing linebacker. So what are the similarities and the differences between playing quarterback and linebacker? I mean, like, cause with a quarterback, you have to work on your footwork. There's like certain, like a 3-step drop and those kinds of things that you got to do. And linebacker, I'm assuming there's different kind of footwork you're doing, right?
Right. More so, reaction, I would say, than anticipation, because everything's timing with the quarterback, timing on routes and those sort of things. But there's a footwork aspect, just like playing quarterback at a linebacker, but it's just different kind of footwork, and more of a reaction, because the defense has to react to what the offense does.
Did that help you? Like as a quarterback, you had to read the defenses and stuff. Does that help you as a linebacker with the mental aspect, like knowing, okay, this player is going to line up over here, and you're kind of seeing what the offense is doing because you've been behind center before?
Definitely, and being right in the middle as a middle linebacker, they call it a lot of the times the quarterback of the defense. You got to know what everyone's doing in front of you and behind you. Just like a quarterback, you got to know where all the pieces are going.
Yeah. So that first year, 2016, I mean, you actually, like you said, you showed up in January, so you were there for a whole semester and you're doing all the spring ball and all that. But then the 2016 season, you don't get to see the field. You have to redshirt. I'm always curious with that because I think it is probably smarter for people to get all the practice in before they go into the game. But is that frustrating to go from the starting quarterback in high school and you had all these accolades and then you just don't get to see the field? Like, how do you stay patient, especially as such a young person? I mean, when I was 18, I mean, I couldn't even, I couldn't wait for anything. So you waited a whole year and a half to be able to see the field. Was that frustrating?
Yeah, it was tough. I can probably speak for most red shirts coming in, or people that redshirt. We all want to play. We're not used to just sitting out a whole year, not playing in games and just practicing. Just the thought of that. But yeah, I was really trying to get on that bus. I was this close to being, on the bus for special teams, whether it was, second string on certain positions on kickoff or whatever. I just wanted to travel, get the gear,
Yeah.
experience it. But my coaches ended up, making the decision to redshirt me, just because, they told me, yeah, we just see too much potential in you to burn a redshirt right now. So,
Right.
and at the same time, I'm not the only one.
No.
They only travel with 60 something players, and we have like 100 plus players. So you're not doing it alone. So that kind of helps.
So during that redshirt year, did they try you at other positions? Like what made them decide to put you at linebacker? Did they try you at safety or cornerback or running back or anything else?
Right. So like I said, I was quarterback, spring ball, summer workouts, and then by the second fall camp practice in Lewiston, Leach sat me down and just talked to me and pretty much said, "Hey, you get on the field faster, playing other positions, and just with my abilities." And then I decided to make the decision on my own at the end of the day to switch to defense. And then they put me at rush. We don't have rushes anymore. Well, yeah, they put me at rush, so like stand-up DN.
Okay.
They started me out there with Coach Roy Manning, who was here, and then I was making noise. And then they put me at nickel towards the end of the season, switching me. And then after that redshirt season, they ended up switching me to middle linebacker, and then I've been there ever since.
Okay. Yeah, because that first redshirt year, or your redshirt freshman year, where you actually played in 2017. You appeared in all 13 games. You made 4 starts. You had 47 tackles, 3 sacks. You were named to the Pac-12 All-Freshman second team. There's a couple games I want to ask you about. First off, the Boise State game. Triple OT with Tyler Hilinski getting the win. Do you remember that game? Like, what was going through your guys' head during that game? Because I think I was watching at a bar, and I think I'll watch the rest of this at home. I don't think it's going to turn out well. And then I turn on the car, and Peyton Pelor picked up a fumble. I can't remember. It was a fumble interception, ran it back for a touchdown, and then you guys somehow you came back to win it. Was that?
Yeah, that was a crazy game. Yeah, that was 2017, right?
Yeah, 2017 year. Yeah. Well, it was like the third game of the season. I mean, did you think when
we played there in 2017, we played them at home?
Yeah. Did you think that you guys? Was there ever a thought of okay, this game's over, we lost? Or was there okay, how are we going to get back from this? Because, I mean, it was just insane. It was one of the craziest comebacks I've ever seen.
Yeah, the biggest thing is just Yeah, I remember that game. I was on the sideline most of the time, but just having hope, just keep pushing, not give up, and whatever happened. I think remembering that night, our sideline did a really good job of just keeping everybody motivated. Like if you're not, just doing our best to contribute, whether we're on the field or not, because we're all in it together.
Yeah, yeah.
We had
Or
a crazy night.
and then what? Here's another good game. This was a fun one. You guys were number 16 and you played number 5 USC that year. Do you remember that game? Like, what was your mindset going in? Because that was a big win for you guys that year. And then I remember after the game, Mike Leach said it was like Woodstock, except everyone had their clothes on. I mean, that's like a famous quote. Do you remember that game? Like going in, like were you guys like we can beat these guys, or what was the mindset there?
Oh yeah, no, we had a game plan, especially that week. I was actually in their our third down package at the time. I forget. I think some of our linebackers were banged up, so I hopped in. So that's when I really started playing that season. That was after that game, but I ended up making a really big third down play because it was third and long. I think it was third and maybe like 14 plus. So we're assuming they're gonna chuck the ball, and then I was like, I think we were playing man at the time, or I was manned up on the back, and then they decided to run it, and then I ended up chasing it down and making the tackle, and they ended up putting. That was actually like, yeah, I remember that one.
That's all. So does Leach?
Just because I felt how big I contributed just in that
Yeah.
one play for the first time.
Yeah, and every play counted in that game. It was close. Did Leach give you guys like a pep talk, like, "Hey, we can beat these guys"? Or what does he do before games? Because he seems kind of, uh, almost like kind of like an introvert. Like I don't know. Does he give like the pep talks and stuff?
Yeah, when we're in the locker room, he just usually what he does is he gives us a talk, and then when he starts raising his voice, we know, okay, we're getting serious. So,
Yeah, I think I saw one video of him at like Texas Tech, and he was just swearing at the players and stuff. And I'm going, oh man, like, some people might not think this is so PC right now, but that's just like his style. So I think if you go to Wazoo, or now I guess he's at Mississippi State, and he's your coach, like you kind of accept that part of him, that he's going to swear at you sometimes, he's going to yell, and that's just kind of the price you pay for success, because he does bring success, right?
right, yep, exactly. So yeah, it's more about not necessarily how he says it, but what he says.
Yeah.
So you got to really like, you got to have how do you put it? You can't, just say, oh, he's saying it to me like this, I should be mad or I should feel some type of way.
Not take it personal.
Yeah, listen to what he's actually saying.
Not how he's saying it. Yeah. Yeah. So then,
profanity.
right. So then the 2018 season, this season will always go down as Minshew mania. I mean, this was a crazy year. You appeared in all 13 games. I think Pelluer was back that year, huh? He got a
Yeah, he
6th
was
year,
back.
so you didn't get to start, even though you'd played well in his absence. But he took a starting job back. So what did you think of all the Minshew and the mustache stuff? Like, do you have any good memories of Minshew? Because like it seems like every time he's posting something on social media, it's just all this stuff's going viral. Like I don't know if you saw the other day, he did some karaoke to Celine Dion, or lip sync to Celine Dion. Like, is he just always doing funny shit like that, or?
Yeah, he was always doing that. It was funny. When he first came in the summer, I thought he was a safety or something, just because of how athletic he was in the summer
Really?
workouts, strength and conditioning. Yeah, I didn't know who he was at all, but he just looked, like I said, he just looked like he played like quarterback was the last thing I would have thought he was,
Wow.
just because of how hard he worked in his workouts and everything. Just
Does he run fast too?
yeah, he has speed. Yeah, he has speed. No, he was just working hard. I was just admiring just how hard he worked. Just the second he stepped foot on for our first workout.
And what did you think when you first saw the mustache? Like, was that something you guys put him up to, or why did he do that? I thought he kind of did that as a joke, and then he kept it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he just kept it. I know. I ended up growing my hair out last year, but it's just one of those things when you're in college. We don't really ask questions. If it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like I said, I myself tried a few different hairstyles myself. So
Yeah,
yeah, sticking with him.
I
So.
had Liam Ryan on. He had the mullet. I think, did he finally cut that mullet? Because that was awesome.
Ooh, oh man,
I thought I saw him cut it.
so. I don't think so.
Okay, good. So then 2000, that was Minshew Mania. Then 2019, last year, that was your redshirt junior year. You started all 13 games at the Mike linebacker. You had a couple sacks, some fumbles. Let's talk about I know you probably don't want to talk about this, but the UCLA game. Oh man, I was watching that game, such a huge lead. What happened there? What's your take on that game? That had to put a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, no, that was tough to swallow. We just at least I can speak for our defense. We just made just simple mental errors that we shouldn't have. I think even though we lost, we really we learned a lot from that game. So
Yeah, because you bounced back and then you ended up getting the bowl game at the end. I actually went to that bowl game because it was here in Arizona. But that was another one where it was like, oh man, it was so close. And that's the last game that you guys have played. That must have put a sour taste in your mouth as well. Like you want to get back out there and redeem yourself from that game.
right, yeah, that one was tough too. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about that, but I mean, it's still fun being out there,
Yeah.
in a bowl game, being in that atmosphere.
Yeah. So then after that season, Leach, obviously he leaves for Mississippi State. Now you guys get coach Nick Rolovich from Hawaii. What's your first impression of him as the coach?
Oh, he's fantastic. No, he's really involved with. I like how involved he is, just with not just with our team, with other teams and at WSU and other programs, and just other things in the community. I think he does a really good job in just putting himself out there and just letting everybody know, hey, like he cares about everything that's going on.
Yeah, I saw like his social media. He was saying right when the lockdowns and stuff first happened, he was buying all these pizzas at the local pizza place and said, hey, I just bought 20 pizzas. First 20 people that show up get a free pizza, stuff like that.
Yeah. And I know, I think he bought like a whole bunch of Girl Scout cookies when it was during the pandemic too.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really cool. It seems like he's really interested in trying to do all these good things for the community in addition, but also like he kind of has, I heard he has like some eccentricities like Leach, like he dressed up in costumes and stuff at Hawaii. Have you guys seen any of that yet? Or he hasn't kind of brought his wild side yet, has he?
Yeah, not yet. Just the bucket hat for the most part.
The
Other
what?
than that, just his bucket hat that he
Oh
always
yeah,
wears.
yeah, yeah. Is that what it's called? A bucket hat? I never. Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. It's not. It's like it's longer than a bucket hat outwards.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think it's a bucket hat.
That's like his trademark for sure. Yeah. And then you guys have a pretty good running back. For those that don't follow the team, I think people will know this name, Max Borghi. Like, I just think he's like so sick. What is it like going up? You have to go up against him in practice, right?
Yeah, no, it's fun. No, it's fun. It's fun going up against him. We kind of just have a rivalry, just linebackers and running backs, because they always got to block us, or we always see each other a lot during practice, whether we're trying to tackle them or they're trying to block us. So it's just a fun little rivalry.
Does he make you better? Because I mean, I feel like he's so shifty, and I mean, he's got to keep you on your toes, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, that it's a good rivalry. Yeah, he really gets everybody better on the defense. Just working on tackling somebody like him, just because he's very elusive.
Who else stands out on the offense? Like because I know a couple receivers have left. So which receivers are looking really good in practice?
Yeah, it seems like forever since we've been together, to be honest, because even when we were doing some OTA format stuff, the defense we would be on our own.
Okay.
And then the offense would come in the next session. So I gotta think back.
So you guys are not practicing right now then?
No, actually, we're gonna, from what I know of, we're gonna practice Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week, and then see next week just how everything is going. and what we can do moving forward.
So but you're there at Wazoo now. Are you guys just doing workouts and stuff, like going to the gym and stuff like that?
No, I'm actually back home to
Oh,
spend time with family. Yeah, I've been in Pullman since June 16th. So so I decided to come back the 29th, August 29th, so a little over a week ago, to
okay.
spend time with friends and family before I go back.
Okay. So,
Before
but
start.
this week you're going back to, and practices will start.
Yep.
Are you hopeful that there'll be a season this year? Because I know they canceled it, but then they're saying, well, they might come back in the winter or maybe the spring. Or what do you think?
I have no idea. They've been just it's all up in the air, you know. It's just like just you don't know. Like I don't know. Like they've been talking about spring, or Coach Roll's been talking about us about like a spring season starting January, and that sounds promising. Um, but like I said, I don't know.
What is the mentality in the locker room, or with your teammates? I guess not technically in the locker room. I mean, do most people want to play, or some people kind of scared about getting coronavirus, or like is it kind of a mix? Or
Yeah, we want to play. Yeah, I especially want to play, especially if they've already said whatever form of a season we have won't count towards our eligibility, and I'd still be able to play next year, which is
oh
nice. But my thing is, like, I don't want it to be it would suck to have it be a situation in which, like, we start playing, somebody on our team tests positive or whatever, or a few people, however many, they got to sit out for at least 2 games, and then the other team has to do the same thing. Like, I'm the type of player that wants us to be at our best and our opponent to be at their best.
yeah, you want it to be competitive for sure.
Right. Exactly. So that's what I think of whenever they think about, starting a season, you know, soon. So, but other than that, I want to play football.
Yeah. So if they do have a season, or if they don't have a season, you could potentially come back next year. And would you decide to do that, or would you potentially try to graduate and go out for the draft?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I'll play. Yeah,
You'll play at Wazoo next year.
yeah.
Oh, okay. But eventually, you do want to go for the NFL, then? I'm assuming.
Yeah, no, that's a dream of mine. The biggest thing, um, for me, I just need to put more film out there for scouts. So I just want to just focus on keep my head down and grinding and just getting better.
I know some of the people at your school transferred and they went to other schools that are playing this season. Did you ever think of that? Did you consider transferring to another school?
Oh, not at all.
Okay.
Pullman's
So
my home.
what's that?
Pullman's my home.
That's awesome. That's great. So if there is a 2020 season, is this the year that the Cougs finally win the Apple Cup? Like, what is your theory on why you guys struggle so much against UW? Like, because I feel like some of the matchups on paper, I'm going, oh, this is going to be a good game. This is going to be really close. And then it always ends up lopsided. Like, what is the mentality going into Apple Cup? Because it seems like Leach always says, like, oh, it's just another game. Like, do you think that mentality hurts you guys?
Well, I see what he means by it's just another game, but at the same time, like, it's the Apple Cup. So he says that to kind of calm
Yeah.
everyone down because he knows everybody's amped up to play. But
But Rolo seems to have an opposite mentality. He's got a countdown going and all this stuff.
yeah, I like it. I like it.
Well, and you're from the state, so that's the other theory is that they say that there's so many people that are from other states, they don't really see the rivalry. They didn't grow up with it. Like you grew up with Apple Cup, you know how big of a deal it is. But if you're from, Florida, you probably don't really understand the rivalry.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. Because I know a lot of people there. Like one of my best friends, he went to Bellevue too. He's at UW. He plays DB at UW, and it's just and I know a lot of people there. And whenever we play them, all my family watches. They wanna come watch the game whenever we're in Seattle. So
Does your dad root for you or you?
oh, he roots for me.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
He was actually so he's a paramedic. So he actually worked the Apple Cup last season when we played there. He was on the field.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
super cool. Wow. So you said that you'll come back next year, but what do you think you can do to get ready for the NFL draft? I guess it would be 2022 for you. Like, at what point are you guys allowed to hire an agent and all that? How does that stuff work? Because isn't there like you can't talk to an agent till a certain point or something? Or
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't talked to my coaches about that, or my coach hasn't been talking to me about that yet.
yeah,
But,
no, but I like what you said about earlier. We were talking about special teams. I feel like that's how you're going to make it if you wanted to go in the NFL. That's how a lot of those guys stick on the rosters is they're able to play special teams. Do you I forget, do you play special teams at Wazoo?
yeah,
Okay.
I did kickoff return. I was starting on kickoff return, punt, and I did a lot of punt return too.
Okay. So you do that. Yeah. Cause that's definitely a skill to have that's very valuable for NFL. So thinking later down the line, but that's cool that I didn't even know that you're going to get another season. So you got some time to figure all that stuff out. So that's awesome. Another question. I don't know. What are the rules with college football players and fantasy football? Are you guys allowed to play fantasy football, or is that considered gambling?
I think, yeah, not for money.
Oh, okay. You could play for
Any
fun.
sort of reward. I think just for fun.
Do you guys do that?
I don't usually. I've never really gotten into it, just because whenever we're in season, I'm just so focused on myself playing that I don't really take the time out to watch uh, the NFL teams as much.
Did you grow up as a Seahawks fan though, or
Yeah, especially when Russell Wilson got there.
right? Isn't he amazing to watch?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. All right. Well, thanks for taking this time. I always end with a charity. I asked you to think of a charity. I know Hilinski's Hope is, that's always one that I've promoted before. Or did you have another one that's near and dear to your heart?
Yeah, no, I agree. I was gonna choose Hilinski's Hope too, especially right now with this pandemic. There's a lot of um, just people just sitting around and not doing as much, and that could lead to a lot of stress and depression, and some mental health issues. So I think that's really important, especially now.
Yeah. How are you guys doing with all this? Like, your teammates, your friends and family, is everybody doing okay? Like,
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Our We have our counselors pop in, probably call us up once a month, check in on us too, which is really great too, just seeing how we're doing,
oh,
and
that's
just
awesome.
able to talk about whatever we want or what's on our mind.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I hope there is a season, but if not, I'll definitely watch you guys next year. Other than that, go Cougs.
Go Cougs. Thanks, Jeff.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Justice. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Justus Rogers, linebacker for Washington State. I'm going to be rooting for him and rooting for a season for the Pac-12 in Washington State. Thank you all for listening or watching. You can see my ugly face if you're on YouTube. Make sure to check out some of my other episodes and follow me on social media or subscribe for future episodes. Make sure to follow Justus Rogers on Instagram for his updates, and you can learn more about Hilinski's Hope and all the great work they do with mental health, either by clicking the link in the notes to the show, or you can listen to the old episode that I did with Hilinski's Hope and find out all about that stuff. It's episode number 42, I believe. If you enjoy listening to the show and you made it this far, I'd love for you to write me a review on iTunes. Let me know what you think. Until next time, have a great day or night, and remember to shoot for the moon.